What's up, y'all? It's old as a name. I'm back with another video. This is YouTubers that become murderers. We just trying to get right back into it.
Suzanne Eaton was a 59-year-old American scientist who was working as a professor of molecular biology in Dresden, Germany. A big part of her job at this institute was to travel around the world and hold conferences on the latest developments in her field. In July of
Mm.
2019, she traveled to the scenic Greek island of Crete for one of these conferences, not knowing that this was going to be her last, and
Damn,
that the person responsible for her end would be caught because of his videos on YouTube. The incident happened on
idiot.
July 2nd, when, after a conference, Suzanne spent time with her peers and played the public piano in the venue's lobby before saying her goodbyes and heading out to her hotel in the afternoon. Sadly, this was the last time anyone saw Suzanne alive. Her coworkers noticed her absence when she didn't show up for the second conference scheduled for 6 p.m. that evening. It wasn't like her to skip events out of the blue. Something wasn't right. A fact that became increasingly clear when over 24 hours passed without anyone hearing from her. So, on July 3rd, her colleagues called the police to check on her, hoping she was simply sick or something similar. However, when officers arrived at her hotel room, no one answered the door. They acquired a spare key from the hotel management and went inside, only to find the room completely empty and undisturbed. All of Suzanne's belongings were also still in the room. The only things missing were her running shoes and a set of exercise clothes.
Y'all think he was maybe like jealous of her or some shit like that? Cause I'm like, why would you kill this lady like that? Why would you kill this old lady? That shit don't make no sense to me. His word is this correlate, but we're gonna pay attention. Let's pay attention. Let's pay
Those
attention.
who knew her immediately understood what this meant. You see, in addition to her academic prowess and piano expertise, Suzanne was also an athlete at heart. She was a double black belt in Taekwondo, and despite her age,
You see what I'm saying? She's doing the condo shit. She's playing the piano. She fit. She's an older lady. She's still doing her shit despite what society would tell you about fucking women. You know, they think when you get to a certain age, you're supposed to shrivel up and fucking die in a corner. But she's not doing that. If anything, she's excelling. So maybe I don't know, maybe he's had some jealousy and some resentment and he's been like kind of stalking her and hating on her somehow. I don't know, I don't know. I'm gonna keep
loved
going.
going on a run every day. Knowing this helped investigators narrow down what might have happened to her. Put simply, she likely went on a run soon after returning to her hotel on July 2nd, and something went wrong after that. She
Mm,
wasn't super familiar with the area, and to make matters worse, the weather was uncomfortably hot that afternoon. There was
damn.
a strong possibility she collapsed from the heat or something else along those lines. After putting this together, the Crete police immediately dispatched a search and rescue team in the area surrounding her hotel and around popular running trails. Her family even traveled to Crete and put a €50,000 reward for anyone who could help find Suzanne. Unfortunately, Suzanne was nowhere to be found.
Uh, does Suzanne have like kids or kids or
That is
something?
until 5 days later, on July 8th, when two young men were exploring one of the abandoned World War II Nazi bunkers scattered across Crete. Around 200 meters in, one of them noticed a piece of burlap covering something on the ground. They
Hmm. Maybe they found the body.
picked it up from one end to see what was underneath,
I could see
and what
someone
they
dumping a body
found was
here.
the aftermath of one of the most horrific crimes in Crete's recent history. The burlap was covering the bloody remains of Suzanne Eaton. A later
Fuck.
autopsy report discovered that Suzanne had several broken ribs, multiple
Fuck.
fractures throughout her body, a missing ear, and much, much more. Whatever
Super
happened to her
here.
certainly was not an accident. The investigators began searching for clues, and fortunately, it didn't take long for them to make their first major breakthrough: a set of car tire tracks leading up to the entrance of the bunker. Analyzing these tracks allowed investigators to find the car responsible for transporting Suzanne's remains to that bunker. It belonged to 27-year-old Yanis
Evil.
Paraskakis, a local sheep farmer. But
Look
when
at this.
questioned, 27
Look at this man. A fucking sheep farmer. Jealousy. Envy. Because why would you do that to that woman like that? You're a fucking loser who has nothing to do with life. Who probably, because they said once your man gets to a certain age, he's supposed to have the whole fucking world. He's a bitch. He doesn't get the world. Well, this old ass woman, she's talented in areas in all fields, athletic for an old lady up here playing the piano and shit. Jealousy. The fuck is wrong with people?
year old Yanis Paraskakis, a local sheep farmer. But when questioned, Giannis feigned ignorance and claimed that him driving through that area on that day was nothing more than a coincidence. He went as far as to say that he didn't even know about the existence of that bunker, a lie that would eventually lead to his arrest. You see, Giannis had a dream to become a successful YouTuber.
Bitch, see, I hate people so fucking much, bro. I hate people so much. I want to be a YouTuber. I want to have fame. I want it. So I'm going to kill you, bitch, please.
He started a
Be
channel
more
with his own name in
interesting.
2012 and began posting videos. However, if you go to his channel today, all you'll find are 3 videos of him performing an ancient Chinese
Not
martial art and
interesting.
meditation technique called
Not
Qigong.
interesting.
That's because a couple days before Suzanne's body was discovered, Giannis deleted every other video on his channel. And once authorities recovered some of these deleted videos, it became
Idiot.
clear why. You see, most of these deleted videos involved Giannis exploring abandoned World War II bunkers, including the one
Idiot. These people are so fucking stupid. Why would you kill her and then take her to an area where you film c- often? I mean, very often. That's so fucking stupid. That's like me, mind you, I had a YouTube channel. I had one before it got deleted over some other shit. But there are some videos from when I was like in high school, like freshman years type shit. And I was at a park near my school that I used to film like skits and shit with my home, with my friends and shit. That's like me going, killing a bitch and then taking the body there. Like, bitch, you film there. There's, like, yeah, YouTube deleted my shit. How much you want to bet they got those videos? How much you want to bet that somewhere in the archives of where that channel is, it wasn't that long ago it got terminated. Somewhere in the archives, and I did, and those videos were on that channel. It was privated. Duh, like I wasn't. That shit was cringy as fuck. Privated, but it was on there. They have those videos. If the FBI really needed to get through that shit, they could. They could. I guarantee it. Dumb idiots. Just idiots, man.
where Suzanne's remains were discovered. This contradiction gave the authorities the go-ahead to formally arrest him on July 15.
As you should.
It also allowed them to investigate him further, and the evidence they discovered was overwhelming. As it
He's
turned
been
out, the
doing
land where
this?
this bunker was located was owned by Giannis's family. Investigators also found traces of Suzanne's blood in his car's trunk. When
What?
confronted with this evidence, Giannis cracked and told the whole story. According to him, he saw Suzanne running down the road and something came over him. He hit her with his car twice
What?
before putting her in his car, driving to the bunker, and ending her life there. He later changed his story to where he was compelled to commit this crime by a demon.
Oh my.
Unfortunately,
Lies. He's a fucking liar. That's a fucking lie. That's a load of shit. This man is pure fucking evil, and I think it's envy and jealousy. He knew that woman. He knew that woman. That is, oh my god, that is so fucking sick. He is sick. That shit is sick as fuck.
for him, the jury didn't buy this one bit and sentenced him
Good,
to life in prison without the
as you
possibility
should.
of parole in
He needs the
2020.
death penalty. He needs the death penalty. I mean, I feel like people need these countries, especially America, we need to be more strict on this shit. Y'all cannot be just running people over and oh, I just felt like it and a demon told me. None of that. We're not doing none of that. If you're finna just kill people because of randomly shit, you need to be dead too, bitch. You're a danger to the world, society, anybody involved. Get him up the fuck out of here.
Now, this should have been the end of Giannis' story, but from what I've
How is
seen,
it not?
there's more to his actions than just this one crime he was convicted of. The thing is, Giannis presented his vile act as a crime
He's a
of
serial killer.
opportunity, something he did completely out of nowhere. However, there's evidence to suggest that Giannis might be a full-blown serial killer. For instance, he was apparently the
A fucking serial killer. This is what I'm saying. This man needs the death penalty. Pure evil. And we need to look into the parents too. because they said that the parents owned the spots that he was putting these bodies and shit. My thing is, if you own this town, I'm assuming, are you trying to do it for a museum type shit? What is going on? You said some Civil War type shit, bunker type shit. So y'all need to be looking into the fucking family as well. Either they got some weird shit going on, or they are just like turning a blind eye and acting oblivious to some shit. Either way, y'all need to be looking into the fucking
Detained by the
family.
police twice before, once for arson and once for animal cruelty, both of which are well known early behaviors of serial
Signs.
killers. After his
Exactly.
arrest, several other women also came forward, testifying that he had tried to run them over with his car as well in the past. So,
So that's your MO, running niggas over, just running people over? Shit, especially women. Like, why do these fucking weirdos do this shit? They always pick women, the weakest link. They're cowards and bitches. They have no real strength. They're just fucking weird demons. Running around doing whatever. Gee needs the death penalty.
Suzanne was more than likely not his first victim. However, the most solid evidence against Giannis is in one of the deleted videos he uploaded to YouTube. In it, we can see him showing some very human-looking bones scattered throughout the same bunker Suzanne was discovered in. These bones were never discovered by the authorities, suggesting they might have been removed by Giannis to hide evidence. But what makes this truly disturbing is what his friend says at one point in the same video. This roughly translates into, "Is this where you left that old guy?"
What the fuck?
Insinuating that Giannis had
Let lock his ass up too. Lock his what? Lock his ass up too. The friend.
disposed of one of his previous victims in the same bunker before. And if that is the case, one can only wonder how many other people Giannis has killed over the years.
This is sick. These people are sick.
Simply Manic 6075 was a YouTube channel owned and operated by 24-year-old Samantha Wolford. She lived in the small community of Monticello, Texas with her husband Ernest Lee Ibarra, aka Ernie, and their 5 children. She usually made videos about
This is funny and weird as fuck. I already know it. What they finna do to the kids? They finna do this is for they look weird as fuck. 5 kids? They look weird as fuck. What they finna do to these kids?
her day-to-day life and other random topics. Her story began in 2008 when she was at the lowest point of her life. She'd recently become the single mother of a pair of twins and had no love interest in her life. That's when she met Ernie at a local tattoo
Okay.
shop, and the two hit it off right from the
So he's
get-go,
a
eventually getting in a
stepdaddy.
relationship and starting a family together. In one of her videos, Samantha described the day she met Ernie as the happiest day of her life. Together, they were blessed with 3 more children, including 1 more pair of twins. Raising
Damn.
5 kids was a challenge, but Ernie made it work by taking a second job in pizza delivery. So, while they had endured tough times together, Samantha, Ernie, and their 5 children
I feel like I know where this is gonna go. I could be wrong. I don't know. I've been wrong many times before. Um, what I'm gathering so far is 5 fucking kids. You work at a fucking pizza shop and he finna kill these motherfuckers. He looked weird to me first. He finna off they ass.
appeared to be the perfect loving family. However, while being a stay-at-home mother was all she could do at the time, Samantha still had a dream
And she's a stay-at-home mom, so he's the only fucking income. He has to take care of 6 people, including himself, 7 fucking people. And he works at a pizza place. He finna off they ass.
of becoming a famous actress one day.
And she trying to be an
Always wanted to be an
actress.
actress. I think it is
And she up here making fucking YouTube videos trying to be a motherfucking actress. And I'm not saying this to get at her, but what I'm saying is I can see something boiling. Like this is too much. Like I'm carrying everything. I'm taking care of everything. I provide for everything, and you're up here on making fucking videos. It's all about being a fucking actress and shit. Like, bitch, be so fucking for real. And she probably ain't let him hit for real. Let me stop. See, now I'm being too much.
So much fun. I've been extras in movies. I've had small parts in like short films. It is so much fun and it is so beautiful. It is the one of the most amazing forms of art ever to be able to express yourself that way. I think it's
Yeah,
amazing.
So,
agreed. I got a part of my old YouTube channel being canceled was I had a series. It was The Sims. Sims 4. I had a series for that shit and it was called Sim the Killer and that shit was wild. It's on my TikTok. I should link that. I should link it in the description below. Sam the Killer. But I'm gonna come fucking back. Shit, I got hit by my dread. I'm gonna come back with another series. This one's gonna be just different. It's not gonna be Sam the Killer, just a whole different vibe. But yeah, if you like Sims 4 and you like role play type shit and storytelling, I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna be filming that shit. Not right now, but it's in the fucking
in
works.
October 2010, she created her YouTube channel and started posting videos, hoping to become a popular YouTuber and fulfill her dream on the internet instead. And things were going surprisingly okay in the beginning. Samantha would post new videos whenever she had something new to say. And while most of her videos struggled to get past 100 views at the time, the few viewers she had were enough to keep her going. But as time passed on, her passion for making videos turned into an obsession. She started spending more of her time on making videos than her family, putting even more pressure on an already
See,
stressed out Ernie. Around
see.
2014, she also started accusing Ernie of hurting her in her videos, hinting at just
Oh,
how bad their relationship was going. But
damn.
then, after posting a
And she probably would. Come on, let's be for real. She probably was right about that. I mean, there's always a build up to shit. There's always a build up to shit. And her story is one of fucking many. One of many, mind you. It's not always black and white where theirs is like money. But I don't know. He didn't say if it's money or not. Uh, but he said stressed out Ernie. That's his fucking name. People be doing it because they get a new woman. That is the new female one pisses me the fuck off. Just leave your wife and get with your new bitch and be a deadbeat. Yeah, you be scrutinized. Yeah, people talk shit about you. Be a fucking deadbeat. Get over it. Mm. Because at the end of the day, like being in jail forever is dumb as fuck. And why would you kill your family over this shit? Like I said, I just see how this is going. I can predict the shit. Her story is one of fucking many, unfortunately. Let's keep going.
seemingly random video in March of 2014, Samantha mysteriously vanished from the internet. Maybe she lost interest in YouTube or just wanted to focus on her family again. No one knew exactly why she quit so abruptly. Then, on the 20th of February 2015, viewers finally received the update they were waiting for. Unfortunately, it was
Okay.
far more tragic than anyone could have imagined. It started with the Texas police receiving a call from one of Samantha's aunts asking them to save her niece's life.
Taos County 911, what's your emergency?
I have a home invasion. My niece is tied up. I I I am at the verge of untying my niece at this particular moment.
Okay, she's tied up
She is tied up and gagged.
and
What
gagged.
the
Oh,
fuck?
yes, ma'am.
Is there anybody else there?
Where are the kids? We have 5 small infants asleep.
Fuck?
Apparently, 3 masked men broke into their home in the
Wait,
middle of the
what?
night and attacked the couple while they were asleep. The intruders then tied Samantha in her bedroom and, after hitting him with a gun a few times, kidnapped Ernie.
What?
Samantha somehow managed to get her ties loose enough to call her aunt, who then contacted the police after arriving at Samantha's home herself.
I also want a fucking apology. I want to apologize to Ernie. Or that's his name. It's his fault. No, I started talking shit before him. Damn. I thought it was true because, bro, I made that fucking theory, and then right after I made the theory, he's talking about a stressed out Ernie, a stressed out Ernie. He made me think that he killed the family. What? Let me go
Is there
back.
anybody else there?
Where are the kids? We have 5 small infants asleep.
Apparently, 3 masked men broke into their home in the middle of the night and attacked the couple while they were asleep. The intruders then tied Samantha in her bedroom and, after hitting him with a gun a few times, kidnapped Ernie. Samantha somehow managed to get her ties loose enough to call her aunt, who then
Oh my
contacted the
God.
police after arriving at
Why did she call the police? She should immediately call the police. What the fuck?
Samantha's home herself. By the time officers arrived, Samantha's aunt had set her free from the restraints. The kids were fortunately safe as well. However,
good.
what made this whole situation strange was that the intruders didn't take anything else from their home besides Ernie. And from the people who knew him personally, Ernie wasn't the type of guy to make enemies with dangerous people. Put simply,
Did she set him up? Why would she set him? Wait, that doesn't make sense. If you're a stay-at-home wife, do you think she was trying to like collect like insurance? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Like she hired a hitman? That don't make sense. That's not making sense.
investigators sensed something fishy with the whole situation. But all that paled in comparison to the main objective, which was to save Ernie as soon as possible. Unfortunately, Samantha didn't know anything that could give investigators their first clue. With no other option, the officers took Samantha to the station for further questioning, hoping to extract any useful information they could from her. But what none of them expected was that Samantha would change up her story completely after entering the interrogation room. Where before she didn't know anything about the assailants, now she had the name of a potential suspect, John Rebel. As Samantha's story goes, she was talking to her friend about Ernie's supposed
It was totally wrong. I owe Ernie an apology. Ernie, my bad. I read that so fucking wrong. I was so convinced. And I was going on and on about men and see bitches, bro. Bitches, bro. See, that's the thing about women. We never looking for her. No one's ever looking at her. They always go to him first. Damn. Yeah, my bad.
attacks on
I
Samantha, when suddenly a man with the
that
pseudonym John
bitch.
Rebel overheard their conversation and started talking about how a man shouldn't treat a woman that way and that he was going to handle the
What?
situation. Well, as it
What?
turned out, the name John Rebel actually belonged to someone, a man named Jonathan Sanford. The police found and arrested John not long after Samantha gave out his name, right alongside his 2 accomplices, Jose Ponce and Octavius Rhymes. Surprisingly, Jonathan put up little to no resistance and immediately confessed to kidnapping Ernie. He also confirmed the worst possible outcome, that by the time the police got involved, Ernie was already dead. The 3 took him to a secluded forest and executed him with
Oh my god. Fuck. Oh, I'm so sorry, Ernie, man. R.I.P. to Ernie, bro. Fuck. Bitches, man. Fuck. That's fucked up. Oh, listen, men. Y'all not safe neither. This world is fucking evil and crazy. This world is pure fucking evil and crazy. Yo, bitch will get you. Like, watch who you dealing with. Watch who you're dealing with. Watch who you fucking on. Watch who you loving on. Watch who you fuck. Let this stupid bitch be a stay-at-home mama. He took care of everything. Bro. R.P. to Ernie, man. That's
involved,
so
Ernie was
fucked.
already dead. The
That
3
is
took
so
him to a secluded
fucked.
forest and executed him with 1 shot to the back of his head. However, even after learning all this, one question remained. Why?
I gotta
Why
smoke
would
to
3
that. That's
men
so
who didn't
fucked
even
up.
know Ernie kidnap him from his home like that? Every
Bitch set it up. What you mean why? This bitch set it up. Niggas been doing shit for pussy. Niggas been doing shit for bitches for innocent times. What are we talking about? Yeah, there's a gender war, but bitches, let's be so fucking for real. A bitch can hire a bunch of niggas to fuck someone else. It's been done. This is fucked up. She's fucked up. All she gotta do was play dance him in distress, cry, and jump on his dick, and yeah, the nigga's dead.
answer to this question pointed back to Samantha, who kept denying any involvement. Even if the investigators ignored her suddenly remembering the perpetrator's name, there were several other suspicious aspects to her story. Like, how was she able to untie herself enough to call her aunt? Why didn't any of her neighbors hear the break-in?
It was suspicious when she called her fucking aunt instead of calling 911. What the fuck, you dumb?
And why were the kids all sleeping in the same room when usually they're scattered throughout the house? It wasn't long before investigators uncovered undeniable evidence of her direct involvement. This included instruction messages she sent to Octavius when the officers were trying to call Ernie's phone, which he had on him. These read, "Kill his phone, shut that down, ditch phone, move." There was no doubt about it at this point. Samantha was in colluding with her husband's killers. And as the investigation went on, the real story came out as well. Samantha had apparently become addicted to the idea of becoming a famous YouTuber, and her neglect of the kids became a constant source of fighting between the couple. But instead of resolving the issue like a responsible adult, Samantha colluded with her friend's boyfriend to hatch a cartoonishly evil scheme to get rid of
her friend's boyfriend. She fucking him. I just guarantee I just know, yeah. She's fucking him. She's fucking her friend's boyfriend. She's fucking one of them to get this up. It's not just that. Now she might have known the motherfucker through the friend and all that shit, but pussy's involved in this shit. Pussy tears and sob stories and bullshit. Something's involved in this than just my friend did it. That don't make no fucking sense. That shit is somehow involved in this shit. I just know it. I just feel it.
Of Ernie. They first wanted to plant hard drugs in his car and get him arrested, but later made the heartless decision that taking his life would be much easier. There's also a chance that Samantha went with the murder plan because it would have brought her more attention on YouTube. She was eventually sentenced to 149 years in prison for killing her own husband, leaving her 5 children completely orphaned in the process.
That's so, oh my god.
This isn't just any
y'all
chat,
need to watch.
It's ClickUp chat.
Y'all need to watch what y'all fucking on for real.
Diana Lovejoy was a successful technical writer living in the town of Carlsbad, California with her husband Greg Mulvihill. However, while her corporate job paid the bills, Diana's true passion was becoming a triathlon athlete and documenting her journey on video, resulting in her eventually starting her own fitness blog called Lovejoy Fitness and a YouTube channel by the name of Heavy DJ. She started this channel all the way back in 2008 and over the years used it to document various parts of her life. From meeting her parents after a long time to going scuba diving with her husband. At one point, she even tried to become a cooking show host of sorts.
I don't know about this case. I don't know. I feel like I've seen this. Specifically this cooking shit. I don't think I've ever seen her came across her content. It must have been in some form of video like this. But this kind of seems a little bit recognizable. I'm not really sure.
Unfortunately, her channel never really took off, forcing her to eventually cut her losses and move on with her life in March of 2012. Or at least that's what it looked like from the outside. In reality, Diana's reason for abandoning her YouTube channel was kind of wholesome. You see, Diana and Greg had been trying for a baby for years by this point. Tragically, Diana had suffered 8 different miscarriages and was quickly losing hope. But then in September of 2012, the two were blessed with a perfectly healthy baby boy, marking an end to their struggle. However, what should have been a moment of
About this case, this is the bitch that be passing out and shit. She gonna pass out or whatever. I feel like I know a little bit of this case. I don't know if did she kill the baby? I think she either killed her husband or the baby. One of the I don't know.
Celebration started a downward spiral of lies and betrayals, eventually culminating in an assassination attempt. Things started going downhill when just a few months after the birth of their son, Greg lost his job, leaving Diana as the sole breadwinner. The stress of the previous miscarriages, combined with the crushing weight of having to support a family in an extremely expensive city all on her own, spelled disaster for their marriage. It wasn't long before the two were constantly fighting with each other. Things escalated even further on July 9, 2014, when Greg returned home only to see a police officer waiting for him at the door. The officer explained that Greg wasn't allowed to enter his own home because, as it turned out, Diana had accused him of attacking both her and their son. What followed was a nearly 2-year-long divorce mediation, during which the investigators found no evidence supporting Diana's accusations, allowing Greg to get a 50-50 custody of their son. Diana was also ordered to pay $120,000 as a part of their divorce settlement in late 2015. But before the divorce could be finalized, Greg received a phone call from an anonymous number that changed everything. The voice on the other end claimed to be a private investigator Diana had hired recently. And according to this investigator, he already had solid proof of the attack claims Diana had made against Greg. But for some unknown reason, he wanted to help Greg win the case, so he claimed to have left the documents taped to a power pole located on a small hiking trail near Greg's home. Greg naturally found this whole thing pretty suspicious and decided to take one of his friends with him to the pole on the night of
So you're still a dumb fuck. Why would you go, idiot? This is weird as fuck. It's my buddy and we could die together. I'm sorry. If anything happened to him, my bad. I'm sorry. If anything happened to him, my bad. I believe they said attempt. Attempt means that it didn't. The murder didn't happen. But
September
just
4th, 2016. Sadly, despite his suspicions, he failed to grasp the true intentions of the strangely helpful private detective.
Hello, this is 911.
Yeah, my friend has just been shot.
Do you know who shot?
You got your fucking friend killed. Fuck that bitch. It's really her fault, but
him?
There's a guy lying down like a sniper.
A sniper? Did you see him at all?
Briefly, we saw the gun, and he shot at us like 6 or 7 times.
When Greg reached the pole, a sniper opened fire on him, shooting him clean through the chest. Fortunately, the bullet missed his heart by mere inches, giving him a second chance at life. By the time the police arrived, the shooter had already fled the crime scene. But a quick survey of the area allowed the investigators to uncover a pair of towels the shooter left behind. Running a DNA test on these towels led to a man named Weldon McDavid.
wait. That phone call could have been from his friend saying the guy got okay. Maybe he didn't get his phone checked.
Diana's
Either
shooting
way,
instructor. Weldon tried to deny any involvement at first, but the evidence against him was overwhelming. As after a thorough search, investigators were able to find another set of the same towels at Diana's place as well.
and she's probably
They
fucking
also
him
received
too.
CCTV footage of Diana buying the burner phone Weldon later used to lure Greg into the secluded area. Most importantly, investigators also found the gun Weldon used on Greg, hidden in the rafters of his garage. By this point, it was clear that Diana was the one who wanted to get rid of Greg, likely to avoid paying the divorce settlement and keep full custody of her son. Diana and Weldon were arrested for the attempted assassination on Greg Mulvihill and tried for their crimes in November 2017. Both were found guilty, with Diana sentenced to 26 years to life and Weldon to a harsher 50 years to life. The only silver lining in this entire case is that Greg was able to make a full recovery and is now living with his son.
Good. I hope she never sees the child.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is
The Gunnar Runar 87 channel on YouTube seems oddly wholesome at first glance. It's owned by an Icelandic boy named Gunnar Runar Sigthorsson and contains a single 3.5-minute video of him confessing his feelings to the girl he loves. The title translates to English.
Is he gonna stalk her and start trying to kill her ass? He better not try to kill her ass. These weird ass incels, and I'm sorry, I'm stereotyping. He looks like a fucking incel. My bad. Don't come for me. Hey, listen. I'm not the best. I look like shit too. I'm an ugly bitch too. You know what I mean? But stereotypes. I'm just sorry. Just going.
English as My Confession to Hildur. In it, he says things like,
Hún án efa sérstakasta manneskja sem ég nokkuð tímann hitt. Ég verð svo ótrúlega glaður bara að vera nálægt henni. Það þarf ekki meira.
He's so happy being next to her. That's all good to him.
til að ætla þér því að ég held sé orðin ástfangin af þér.
However, this seemingly heartfelt love letter turned out to be the key to solving one of the most horrific crimes in recent Icelandic history. And it all led back to Gunnar and the troubled life he had as a child. You see, Gunnar didn't have a mother growing up, resulting in him getting extremely close with his father. However, on the night of September 20th, 1996, when Gunnar was just 9 years old, his father decided to end it all using a gun. What made this already messed up situation even worse was the fact that Gunnar was in the room with his father and witnessed everything. Unsurprisingly,
Why would you? Okay. It's one thing to kill yourself and do it, right? Why would you do it in front of your fucking child? Why would you let your baby see that shit and fuck his life up? It's like if it's that deep for you to die, I'm sorry. Do that shit outside. Do that shit somewhere else. Either way he lives with, he gonna find the fucking body. So either way it's fucked up. But why would you even do that right in front of him? Oh my god. I don't get that, bro. Oh. Or even people who do it in front of their parents. I've heard cases like that. Kill yourself in front of their parents. Like, bro, why would you do that? That's your mom. That's your dad. You know, I'm not trying to disrespect the dead, but damn. Now look at your kid all fucked up and shit.
this took a heavy toll on Gunnar's mental health.
Yeah.
He withdrew from the world and refused to accept his father's death as reality. Everything seemed hopeless for Gunnar. That is until primary school, when he met a girl named Hildur and instantly became infatuated with her. He'd admired her throughout school and into adulthood, but never found the courage to make a move, fearing to lose his only close friend. However, things changed in 2009 when Hildur got engaged to a man named Hannes. This gave Gunnar the push to do something about his feelings. But given his shy personality, he still couldn't confront Hildur directly. So, in March of 2009, he created a YouTube channel and uploaded his confession on there. Hildur never reciprocated his feelings, but the two remained friends. Even Hannes, Hildur's now husband, didn't seem to mind Gunnar's company, something he likely regretted deeply just a year later. It all went down on the 14th of August 2010. Hildur was invited to a party that Gunnar was attending as well. But things got a bit out of hand, and Hildur ended up drinking too much and passing out. Given their closeness, the task of getting her home safely was handed to Gunnar. But instead of dropping her off at Hannes' house like he should have, Gunnar took her to his own home. By the time Hildur woke up, it was already morning. She was understandably furious with Gunnar and immediately called one of her friends to drive her home. But nothing could have prepared Hildur for the horrific scene she witnessed on the other side of her front door. Her husband Hannes was lying on the top of the staircase near their bedroom, submerged in a pool of his own blood. She ran outside and called the authorities. Sadly, it was already too late. Hannes had received over 20 stab wounds on his body, from his arms and legs to the back of his neck, and was long dead by the time Hildur found him. Given his condition, his death was ruled a homicide, and investigators wasted no time in looking for the killer. And while they initially suspected one of his business rivals of committing this horrific crime, it didn't take long for investigators to find Gunnar's video confession to Hildur and bring him in for questioning. Gunnar denied knowing anything about it and was eventually let go due to lack of evidence. Fortunately, not all hope was lost, because not long after that, investigators found a bloody shoe print next to Hannes' bed. Looking deeper into this print revealed that it belonged to a pair of limited edition Adidas shoes. At the time, there were only 18 of these specific shoes in all of Iceland, and Gunnar just so happened to own one of these pairs. This was enough evidence to detain him once again. This also gave investigators the authority to do a thorough search of his belongings, resulting in them finding residue of Hannes' blood on his shoes, as well as in his car. Once presented with this evidence, Gunnar confessed to the murder. He also revealed that he'd been planning it for months, and even shoplifted the items he intended to use to avoid purchase records linking back to him. And while he didn't admit to it, Hildur also suspected him of spiking her drink that night, since she usually never passed out like that. After committing the crime, he also drove to a nearby pier and dumped items used in the crime into the sea to get rid of any evidence. It was a well thought out plan, since he was only caught because the garbage bag he used to hide his shoe prints tore open as he walked. As for his motive, it was just as everyone had expected, with him making it clear during the investigation, stating, "I loved Hildur. She was supposed to be with me. She was not supposed to be with him." Surprisingly, he was found not guilty during his first trial on March 1, 2011 by reason of insanity stemming from his messed up childhood. However, the prosecution argued that he was fully aware of his actions and escalated the case to the Supreme Court of Iceland. Gunnar was found guilty on this second trial and was sentenced to 16 years in prison. This was already lenient given the brutality of his crime, yet
So what happens when the next bitch comes over that he wants and he feels like he needs to kill their ass? And she's and he kills her new husband. What happens when that happens? Y'all be driving.
he ended up serving only half of that sentence as well. He
Half.
was released under supervision in July 2019 and now works at a local warehouse.
He is kind of messy for saying where he work at, but hey, that's it for this video. I'm gonna try to do more reaction videos, different stuff like this. Hopefully I can upload this shit. I mean, if you're seeing it, then duh, yeah, I can upload it. But you know, this should be again copyright, some shit like that. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get more uploads in. Stay tuned. I'm gonna have a sim series coming up soon. But yeah, we'll see if we can get this shit over to 0 on this. So I'm just talking to myself right now, and that's cool. But yeah, that's it for this video.